how this natural tendency towards goodness, right? We mentioned last week Professor Sabin, that through his experience verified it in his students, whatever, in America, that he saw the Jewish people had this inborn, he called it inborn trait. It wasn't an intellectual decision, should I, shouldn't I, should be good, it's proper to be good. This innate inborn thing that he talks about himself, and he says how he verified in his studies and his teachings throughout, that he could recognize who the Jews are, this natural inclination. Non-Jews can also be very good, but a national inborn trait of goodness, to do good and to fight for justice. Even the halakha in the Shulchan Aruch and Even Ezra, the laws of marriage, it says someone is cruel, az panim ve'achzariyut, you should. There's a question about marriage. In other words, you should not worthy to link up in marriage with these kind of people. Questionable if they are from the Jewish lineage, because that's not the trait of the Jewish people. That's not that is so it's an aberration. And he says the inner nucleus, the inner, again, there's free will, but the normal healthy state, what is created by God, and therefore the more you live up to that, the more you're yourself. That's the real self-fulfillment. Not to be selfish and what's in it for me, but to be good for all, like we say in Ashrei, right? Tehillim 145. Tov Hashem lakol. The God that is good to all, that is all of creation, is one unit of goodness, of this light of this goodness to all. And then to be good, to believe in that God, is not just, like I said, some religious, spiritual philosophy. There's one God as opposed to 6 or 7. That oneness means that ahava, the love, right? Ahava, the gematria, the number equivalent to the word echad, one, is the same number equivalent of love, 13, right? The aleph, hey, bet, 13. Not more to talk about, but that oneness, that giving, that care for all, that is the life-propelling force of the Jewish people. For that they want to have redemption, for that we want to be in the land of Israel, in order to bring that good, to live that good, to manifest that good, and to reveal that underlying oneness of God, of goodness, for all of creation. That is this nation that was created such. Amzu Yitzarteli, not Asher Bachar Banu. God chose us and made that essence implanted in us. The outside world, again, we'll see that as a sucker, like she says here. You're a fool, you're naive. You have to be, because they judge the world as it is, and it's what seems to be this fractured state, the way it is, and the static that we mentioned on Tuesday night, last Tuesday. Important things we saw a little bit of the class on Know Thyself, we called it, of recognizing what is our essence, the ability to, like Avram Avinu, to break the idols, to break the norms, and not just accept blindly foreign cultures that give us different values and based on the world as it is, thinking that's the given, that's the fixed state. And we talked about that the world is really developing towards what God has in store for the world. What you see now is not what there really is, but all there is. There's a good that God wishes, and all of creation was created to bring about that good, and all of history is the unfolding and bringing that about. To live that is the true essence of your life. That's not a sucker. That's not but the world is in this cave, right? Plato's allegory of the cave. This is the world as it is. The best you can do good, nice, but that's the good that we strive for, that our neshama knows and wants, is that absolute divine good of what the world is meant to be, what it will be, what it's certain to get to. Because that's the foundation of all of creation, is just to get there. And the outside world has different values, different understanding. Even those that understand, Rav Kook writes in Inayah, that the world is developing, the world is rising towards better things, but it's within that framework, within that cave. And Am Yisrael comes to free the world from that cave.